This guy, it's a fucking joke. He just comes in, he says nonsense, and he leaves. And what makes me wonder is that there were still people sitting there watching and clapping.
Today was kind of a big day, depending on how you want to see it, a dark day in that the United Nations Human Rights Council gave a platform to the Iranian foreign minister to speak. I don't know if you saw him speak or heard anything about it, but he said some incredibly outlandish things that, I mean, I joke, I have a chuckle in my throat because it's so ridiculous, it's comical. But I started the show talking about the insanity of this man getting up there and saying not one person has been killed and human rights are the core value of the Islamic Republic. What do you make of this person going and saying these things? I'm guessing you're not surprised, but
Well,
how do you see the actions of today?
do you remember when the Americans and British attacked Saddam the last time?
Yes, I think I do.
Yeah. They had a guy, a general, who was the Ministry of Propaganda, something like that. And every day he used to come on TV and CNN, sit down. I mean, I used to watch on CNN. There were like tons of other news. And he always used to say things which none of them was actually even remotely close to what was happening in the real world.
Are we talking about it from the Iraqi government or from the American government?
Yeah, from the Iraqi government.
Okay.
The general always used to come and say, yes, today we killed 500 mercenaries and we destroyed 200 American tanks. And he was saying things, and then we were like, there were news, like they were going towards Baghdad, like with the speed of light. And I have heard that as he was giving up his last statement, I've heard that the American soldiers entered the room and they asked him to, sir, would you stand up and put your hands behind your head? And he still was lying, and he was still saying things like that. And what else? I mean,
it's an interesting analogy. It's an interesting analogy. You're saying a commander, as the ship is going down, is trying to sell propaganda that all is well. I mean,
this is what he's paid for,
right? But it still amazes me. There's no nuance. I mean, there's no, yes, we're going through difficult times. We're going to figure them out. I mean,
that was before. That was before, when they still had hope. That was the time of the other guy. What was his name?
Zarif?
The short guy, the professor of Zarif. Yeah. Well, Zarif, in the time of Zarif, they still, I mean, the government, I mean, they were not so shaky like that. And he still was trying. And they were so close to make it. You know, they were so close to make the deal. They made the deal. And then, you know, we know also what happens then next. But this guy, it's a fucking joke. He just comes in, he says nonsense, and he leaves. And what makes me wonder is that there were still people sitting there watching and clapping. And of course, everybody knows the truth. The thing is that they are there because probably they've been promised something.